Hey, what's going on guys? Hayes here for another Wuthering Ways video, and today I wanted to talk about whether or not you should be pulling the latest resonator, the legendary Discord Slayer, Galbrena, and how much value she would apply to your account if you do decide to do so. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Galbrena is a 5-star resonator of the fusion attribute, whose weapon type are the pistols, and she is considered a main DPS, who deals both heavy attack damage and echo skill damage. When I say echo skill damage, I don't necessarily mean the echo skill cast that everyone else has access to. Galbrena's echo skill damage is its own type of damage like skill, heavy, liberation, and basic. Galbrena just happens to deal it. And speaking of the normal echo skill cast, this also ties into Galbrena's kit as well, because the more echo skills casted on your team, the faster her second forte bar will fill up. Yes, second forte bar. Galbrena has two. The first one is called Synflame, and she builds this one up just by attacking with pretty much anything, whether it be a basic attack, heavy attack, intro, or pretty much anything that does damage. That should build up her Synflame bar. And the other bar is her Afterflame bar. Galbrena can hold up to 40 points of Afterflame, and each time an ally casts an echo skill, she gains 8 points of Afterflame. But there's only 3 characters on the team, so how are you going to cast 5 echo skills? This makes team options for Galbrena a little bit different than normal fusion characters, since Galbrena likes to have teammates who can cast a lot of echo skills in order to fill that forte bar up. Now that we know a bit about Galbrena, let's go over more about what I was talking about earlier, her teams. If you're a mono fusion lover and you're planning to add her on your team with a Lupa Brent or a Lupa Changli, it's sad to say that that team actually won't be her best performing team, since, well, none of the members mentioned actually give an outro buff to her damage type, that being heavy or echo. Lupa gives a basic buff, Brent gives a skill buff, and Changli gives a liberation buff. Mortefi is the only fusion character at the moment that buffs heavy damage, and even if we disregard the fusion units besides Mortefi not giving Galbrena any outro buffs, there's still no one on that team that can cast any extra echo skills, meaning that it will take a while for you to fill up Galbrena's forte bar, which is why the usual teammates won't be the same as normal fusion. Don't get me wrong, Lupa still buffs the heck out of fusion, and these two will still make a great pair if you were planning on using them. She just won't be the quote-unquote best in slot team member for her, if that's what you're looking for. So what are the most optimal teams, and can you make them on your account? Well, Kurobeer and Kuro loves their premium 5-star support, and the only thing they love more than that is dropping them in the same patch. So in the second half of the Galbrena patch, we'll be able to pick up Qun, who, as you probably guessed it by now, can cast multiple echo skills. He's quite literally tailor-made for her, as he buffs echo skill damage, gives his team crit damage, and as I said, is even able to cast multiple echo skills. There's no doubt in my mind that he'll be the best teammate possible for her for a long time. As for the third slot, as usual, you can never go wrong with a Shorekeeper, so Galbrena, Qun, and Shorekeeper, as things stand right now, will most likely be her best performing team. That being said, not a lot of us have the ability to get 5 stars back to back in the same patch, so what are some other options? Well, as mentioned before, a Lupa and Brant team, or rather a Mono Fusion team, can still work pretty well. Just forget about any of them buffing Galbrena with their outros. And if you're free to play, a Mortefi and Verena team will be your best bet. Obviously, if you have her, you can replace Verena with Shorekeeper, and for those that have pulled for Yuno, she gives a pretty hefty heavy attack damage buff to Galbrena as well if you wanted to swap Mortefi out for her. Those 3 teams will probably be the most popular on release, but only time will tell. So what about teammates that can actually provide her with the echo skill cast that she needs? Well, as of right now, before the release of Qun, it's pretty much only Cantarella, but I still don't advise using them together as they really don't mesh well other than the fact that Cantarella can cast multiple echo skills. At least the other fusion characters, while not giving Galbrena a heavy attack or echo damage buff, still give her a fusion buff from their outro. Cantarella only gives a havoc damage and skill damage buff, so she doesn't really help out Galbrena very much at all. I'm not saying you can't use Cantarella, but you probably shouldn't. You're better off just sticking to one of the 3 teams mentioned earlier. Now that we've gone over the possible teams for her, let's talk weapons, which is actually pretty simple. While her weapon may be freaking busted, giving an attack buff, heavy attack buff, and echo skill damage buff, all while ignoring 8% of the enemy's defense. This weapon pretty much gives Galbrena everything she needs, but thankfully Galbrena is a pistol user. That means if you don't have the funds to pull her weapon, you can just use Static Mist instead, since it has a crit rate main stat and a pretty decent passive for Galbrena as well, compared to someone like Augusta for example, whose standard weapon has an attack main stat instead, which makes building her a little bit harder compared to someone like Galbrena. So while the weapon may be really good, I honestly don't see a need to pull for it, especially if you can't afford to. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, this is more so for the new players, and that's the banners. The Galbrena banner has two of the best 4-star characters in the game, Mortefi and Sanhua. These two alone might make you consider pulling on the banner just because of how good they are for your account. Even if you already have them, getting some sequences for them will make them even better. Now that we've pretty much gone over everything, let's give some quick pros and cons to wrap the video up and hopefully summarize everything to make you understand better on what you should do with your asteroids. Starting with a con number 1. She does not mesh well with monofusion if that was your whole reason for pulling her. The Lupa, Chengli, and Brant team is already pretty much complete. As sad as I am to say it, it does not need nor want the addition of Galbrena. Con number 2. If you already have multiple main DPSs, especially fusion ones, Galbrena won't bring that much value to your account. Even more so if you aren't planning on pulling her best in slot teammate, Qun. Con number 3. Chisa is coming probably right after 2.7, so if you were someone that was interested in pulling her, you might want to save your pulls, because I just know Kudo is making a best in slot teammate for you to pull for her in the same freaking patch as well, so you might as well save up. Moving on to the pros. Pro number 1, if you are planning on pulling Qun, he's her best partner and you'll be able to use his and her best team, if you have them both on your account, obviously. Pro number 2. If you're lacking fusion damage dealers and don't like any of the other ones currently in the game, Galbrena will be a great addition to your account, giving you more elemental coverage for the enemies in endgame. Pro number 3. She seems free to play friendly, making it so that if you wanted to go for her teammate, you wouldn't have to use any pulls on her weapon since you could just use Static Mist. And if you didn't want to go for her teammate, Mortefi, one of the top 2 4-stars in the game, is right there for you to use with her as well. Pro number 4. Have you seen those apps? So all in all, I would say that the final verdict is that Galbrena really doesn't have much pull value unless you either lack a fusion DPS on your account or you just like her and want to pull her. As we approach version 3.0, the game has already dropped multiple DPSs in the game, and most, if not all, can still clear endgame content. So it's really up to you to decide if you want her on your account or not. She's not a must-have like someone like Shorekeeper, but if you like her, then that doesn't really matter, does it? Comment down below what you'll be doing with your pulls in this upcoming patch. Maybe you pull a Galbrena and a Qun, or just Qun, or maybe you're saving for Chisa. I want to know, so do leave a comment down below. This was Hayes, hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, peace.